as far as why you want to run. Now, we have a current person who's been in there, Tom Rice. He's been for three terms, if I'm not mistaken. Why do you think that you would be a better person in this position than him?
Well, I've been on the road for 2 years in a motorhome ministry, and I've seen all kinds of things going on in our country that I'm not too proud of. I've seen the homeless throughout the areas and the different cities. I've seen drugs in the streets. I've seen addicts laying in the streets. I have seen people crossing the border unchecked. I have been to all 49 states in the motorhome, 9 provinces of Canada over the last 2 years, and I'm fed up. I'm just fed up with what I see, and I want to do something about it.
So now, after you got back from this trek, and I know your wife, Eugene, wrote a book about these travels, but when you got back, it seems to be that you had this conversation about doing something about it, and it would be running for this office of District 7 Congressman.
Well, when I got back in November of last year, I started doing research in our area, in our district, and what can I do to help the situation that's going on? And I went in and I started researching and found out that we've got 4 counties in this district that are near 30% poverty levels. Our unemployment is way above the national standards. We've got 8 counties that are just in dire shape and need jobs.
Mm-hmm. So what would you do? What would be one of the first things you would do if you were elected into Congress?
Well, the first thing is the most important thing is the education. We are ranked like 48th to 50th in our education, and it's been found out in the data that if we can get education standards to the top 10 in the United States, the rest of the categories will follow suit. And we are just not giving the kids the opportunities that they need. We need more trade and more vocational training. If we can get that done and get the infrastructure taken care of, we will see some improvements in our wealth and our opportunities.
Well, a lot of what you're saying is stuff that is statewide and very important, but you're running for a federal position. So, I mean, how do you think that you can affect state stuff from a federal position in Washington, D.C.?
Well, I can use that in the office to get a hold of CEOs and companies to help talk about the educational in the whole country, as well as the opportunities that are available from different companies, and use that seat to empower it.
So in what you are seeing with President Trump, what he's been going through and trying to get certain things accomplished, and I see you have Make America Great Again hat on, and that's why I'm referring to him. What is it that do you feel that you are witnessing right now that maybe you could help him get some of these policies through that he's trying to push through?
Yeah, we first need to get some people in Congress that can help him. We've got so many people in Congress that are millionaires, and they just are not with the program. And just like he said, we have to drain the swamp. And these congressmen and senators that have been in there for years, they're not accomplishing anything except trying to get reelected. They're using lobbyist monies, and it's just got to stop. It's just a mess.
Now, as far as some of the federal stuff is concerned, current Congressman Tom Rice voted against am I correct? Against the latest budget bill, is that correct?
Yes.
You told me it did.
Yes.
How did you feel about the budget bill that went through?
Well, the budget bill's fine. I mean, his vote was what I would have done. I voted for Tom Rice, and I believed in him. But he has let the people down in the district. He has let the people down in our state. He has sold his seat to lobbyists.
Can you explain what you mean by that exactly? Like, can you give us an example?
Well, the actual Santana, the deal with the VC nuclear power plant, they donated like $43,000 to his campaign in the last term, in the last year. And that money, where is it going? It's going into campaigns and lobbyists. And then he goes and puts a bill into Congress that gives a tax credit to nuclear facilities with their name on it.
And then we know what happened afterwards.
That's right.
That
it's a useless nuclear facility, mm-hmm. And we're all paying for it.
Right. So you feel that that you're not going to take any lobbyist money, and you feel that oftentimes sways how politicians vote.
If I get elected, the lobbyists don't even knock on my door. I don't even want to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and we're talking with Larry Hammond. He is running for the Republican nomination as far as the GOP is concerned for the 7th District for the U.S. Congress out of Horry County, Georgetown County, and 9 counties total?
8 counties. Actually, the 8th county is split in Florence.
All right, well, there you go. If you want to find out more, go online to LarryGuyHammond.com, LarryGuyHammond.com. And now, obviously, going against an incumbent is an uphill battle in a lot of respects. What do you feel that you have to offer that is going to sway people away? Like you said, you voted for the current office holder. What do you think it's going to take for people to hear your message?
It's going to take a lot of uphill battle. I have $5,000 from my retirement funds to go against his $1.5 million in his campaign. It's going to be a challenge, but it only takes one vote from everybody to change the system.
What are some of the like the main platform points? Like, what are the main issues that you're running on? In particular?
I want term limits for one,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get educational standards in this country up. I want infrastructure taken care of, and I want corporation taxes decreased like our president is doing. I want fair trade between all the different global markets. I'm for that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever run for office before?
I have run in offices for small clubs like the Rotary Club. I've been elected deacons to my church. But as far as a political thing, no. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a millionaire, and I'm not even a politician. I'm just all fed up.
And some of the issues that are in front of people right now, as far as Congress is concerned, they're talking about a lot of the gun issues right now after the shooting in Parkland, Florida. What are your thoughts on any of that?
The guns, that is our right. We have that right. And guns aren't the problem. It's discipline in the homes. It's prayer. It's schools without prayer, and it's hearts without God. That's the issue, and it's not about guns.
So when we see recently, we heard that the President Trump wanted to send the National Guard over to the border, and you were saying that you witnessed yourself illegal immigrants crossing the Rio Grande. Can you tell us what that experience is and what you think is needed down on that border after researching it more?
My wife and I, we camped with our motorhome at Big Bend National Park, and we watched people crossing. The Rio Grande's just a stream. It's only like 2 feet deep. And these people would just walk across and come into our country, and nobody's even checking them. And we don't know if they're drug dealers. We don't know if they're terrorists. And I'm just appalled that we let this border just go unchecked. And I'm for anything to control that border. Either it be a wall, a fence, towers, or security, or the army. I don't care. But we need to secure that border.
Are you, and I know, and Liz mentioned the hat that you're wearing, the Donald Trump hat. I know that in some instances when Tom Rice has talked, he has said, well, I don't necessarily agree with everything that the president has done. Do you feel that he has been in agreement with the president enough, or do you think, how do you think that he's been?
I think Tom is an agreement to Trump, but he's trying to run on his coattails. He's been in office since 2012, and all of a sudden he wants to do everything in his power. Oh, Trump's this and Trump's that, and he wants to guide along with what our president is doing.
Why? How would you rate the I guess the voting records and the policies of our senators? Because those would be your comrades in Congress. We have Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott.
Yeah, I want to work with them, and if they're in office, let's get together and work. If I'm elected, and try to help the situation, and not try to keep running for office.
Mm-hmm. And what about I-73? I mean, there's been a lot of credit given to Congressman Tom Rice for what he's been able to achieve with gaining permits and funding. What do you think about that?
It's been on the burner since 1991, and we've been going back and forth in the courts and the lawyers and the research, and it's time to get it done. He can say he's done it, and he keeps on getting it worked on, but it's still not finished. It is needed. These counties out in the west of on the west of us need help. They need the jobs, and this infrastructure is very important.
I just, you know, in your flyer here, and this is something that Dave and I have talked about a lot, you have listed that South Carolina's rankings in various topics here, including healthcare 39th, education 50th, crime and corrections 41st, opportunity 48th. Overall, we rank 45 out of all 50 states in America. That's not a good ranking. How much of that do you think is contributed to our leadership that we have here, and how much impact do you think you can have as a member of Congress?
I love this state. I love the beauty, but these are raw numbers, and the numbers don't lie. Our leaders are failing us, and I intend to get these numbers up to the top 10 across the board, and it's going to start with education.
You mentioned to us that you feel, and we're just about out of time here right now, but you said that you've got an uphill battle just because of the fact that your war chest is not what the incumbents is. Do you have any kind of events coming up? Any chances for people to meet you, talk to you, and stuff like that between now and the primary?
Yes, I'm taking my motor home, and I'm going out in the old-fashioned way, and I'm in parking lots, waving at people, talking to people all over the district. We just finished 7 counties west of us, and we're starting Georgetown and Horry in the next couple weeks, and then we're going to go back out again. I stop at the Walmarts and the parking lots, and I just talk to people, and you'd be surprised what they tell me.
And if somebody wants to get in touch with you to let them know let you know what they think, best way to do that?
I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I try to answer everybody. I have an email, I have a phone. If you give me a call if you want, I don't care. I try to answer them.
Well, your website is LarryGuyHammond.com, LarryGuyHammond.com, running for the Republican nomination for the 7th District in Congress. Larry, thanks for stopping by here today. We'll probably talk to you again before the primary happens in June. Good luck.
All right, thank you, Dave and Liz.
Thank you. Thanks for coming by.
It's 8:20. It's Hot Talk 99.